Morning, lovelies. Happy Wednesday. Here on a hump day, and I'm just gonna dive right into it today. We're not gonna play around with a bunch of fluff. So let's talk value and worth. Now, I want you to think about the things in your life that you value. You got some? So, your family, your friends, your home, your job, your car, your faith. That kind of sum it up. You know, there might be a few others in there somewhere. And I bet that there's one thing you did not think of when I said, what do you value? Can you guess? You. Do you value you? Do you know what you're worth? I know what other people are worth to me. But it took me a long time to figure out, what am I worth to myself? What is my sense of self-worth? Do I value myself? And for a long time, the answer was no, because other people came before me. And that's a pretty sad situation, because if you don't know what you're worth, how do you know what, let's be honest, how do you know what you're going to put up with? How do you know what you're willing to take? How do you know at what point does something not benefit you? And that's hard. That's really hard, because we go through our lives putting other people before our needs, putting their needs before our needs, putting their wants before our wants. And we lose that sense of self-worth and value. And that's wrong. Like, that's wrong. Finding out what you are worth is a hard and oftentimes painful process, because you get to that point and the sun is coming in, so it's gonna mess some things up. But finding out what you're worth, it takes an event. It takes some type of thing to happen before you realize, you know what? I'm worth more than this. And then it hits you. I am worth more than this. So then you start thinking, well, what am I worth? I know, again for me, that I am worth the time it takes for someone to get to know me. Get to know me, the real me, with all of my quirks and flaws and randomness and mixing up my words and, you know, funky moods and the whole nine. I am worth someone taking the time to get to know me. I am worth someone accepting me for exactly as the universe made me and not attempting to make me into something that suits their needs. And I am worth a hell of a lot more than trying to fit into that mold so that they feel they are more worthy. And that was a painful lesson. And it's something that I've been constantly having to reinforce every day lately with what's going on in my life. But I know that I hit a point where, oh, these things are filthy. I hit a point where I realized, no ma'am. You are worth entirely so much more than all of this, language warning, bullshit. And you need to see that. And so I took some time and I really looked at myself. And I looked into myself. And I saw it. I saw it. And now, I value myself. It doesn't mean that I don't value other people around me, but when push comes to shove, my needs come first. My value will not be diminished by someone else's actions or behaviors or perception of who I should be. Because here's the thing. Right here, this is me. If you want me in your life as a friend, as a companion, as whatever, this is what you get. Because I know what I'm worth. And I know what I'll put up with. And I know exactly the line where it comes that ain't nobody got time for that. Not at all. So I encourage you to really take a look at yourself, take a look into yourself, and figure out what you are worth. What do you value about yourself? And if you can't figure out what you value about yourself, take someone you trust, someone who accepts you unconditionally, and ask them, what is it you see when you look at me? And that's going to blow your mind, because they're going to see things that you didn't even think of because you were too busy downing yourself, too busy trying to fit into someone else's mold. And start looking at what you're worth and start building that worth. And don't ever let someone tell you, don't ever let someone tell you you are worth less than you know you are. Because that's about them. It's not about you. Okay? So, happy hump day. Heading into work. If you need something, y'all know where to find me. Be positive. Bye.